before it became the world's most trusted car brand. Toyota faced a crisis that nearly destroyed everything it had built. Factories stopped. Reputation shattered. And for the first time in its history, the future of Toyota was uncertain. Most people only see the success. Few know how close Toyota came to failure. This is not just the story of greatness. This is the story of survival. And it begins in 1926, in a small workshop in Japan. The journey begins in 1926, in a small workshop in Japan. Here, an inventor named Sakichi Toyoda was obsessed with one idea: creating machines that could improve everyday life. His invention, the automatic loom, revolutionized Japan's textile industry. It wasn't just about weaving fabric, it was about weaving the future. Sakichi's philosophy was clear: make something useful for society. This principle, using technology to serve humanity, became the heartbeat of everything Toyota would one day stand for. In 1933, his son Kiichiro Toyoda inherited not only his father's company, but also his courage to dream bigger. Kiichiro looked beyond looms, to automobiles. Japan was just beginning to industrialize, and cars were still a foreign luxury. But Kiichiro believed Japan could build its own. By 1936, the company produced its first car, the Model AA, a humble machine, yet a powerful statement of ambition. And a year later, in 1937, Toyota Motor Corporation was officially born. A seed had been planted, one that would grow to move the world. The years that followed were turbulent. As war consumed Japan, Toyota's factories turned to producing trucks for the military. The nation's cities were bombed, resources were scarce, and survival itself became the only goal. When the war finally ended, Toyota faced ruin. Its factories lay silent, its workers uncertain. Yet from that silence, a spirit of resilience began to emerge. Under Kiichiro Toyoda's leadership, Toyota refocused its mission to rebuild Japan, one vehicle at a time. But the road was steep. By 1949, facing economic collapse and inflation, Toyota teetered on the edge of bankruptcy. Layoffs followed, morale broke, and in an act of deep humility, Kiichiro resigned, taking responsibility for the company's struggles. Before his death in 1952, he left behind words that would define Toyota's soul: "We must always strive to build better cars and contribute to society." Those words became Toyota's compass, guiding the company through every storm to come. The 1950s marked a quiet revolution inside Toyota's factories. Two visionaries, Taichi Ono and Eiji Toyoda, began reimagining how a car should be built. They created what would become the Toyota production system, a radical philosophy that focused on eliminating waste, maximizing efficiency, and empowering workers. At its heart were two simple but powerful principles. 1. Just in time, produce only what's needed, when it's needed. 2. Jidoka, give machines and people the authority to stop production when something isn't right. This wasn't just manufacturing, it was mindful craftsmanship. What Toyota built wasn't merely a production system, it was a philosophy of constant improvement. Western companies would later study and imitate it, calling it lean manufacturing. But to Toyota, it was more personal, a reflection of their belief that perfection was a journey, not a destination. By the early 1960s, Toyota was no longer just a Japanese brand. It had become a global benchmark for how the world should build cars. In 1957, Toyota took its first step beyond Japan, bringing the Toyopet crown to America. It was slow, small, and struggled against the might of Detroit's giants. But Toyota didn't retreat. It listened, it learned, and it improved. Then came the 1970s. The oil crisis hit, gasoline prices soared, and American automakers were caught off guard with their fuel-hungry machines. Toyota, on the other hand, offered something different: small, efficient, affordable cars that didn't compromise on quality. The Corolla became a global sensation, winning the trust of millions of drivers. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't loud, but it was reliable. And that reliability became Toyota's greatest weapon. By the 1980s, Toyota had transformed from an underdog into a powerhouse. Its cars were symbols of endurance, built not for status but for life. Then came Lexus, in 1989 Toyota's bold step into luxury. The Lexus LS 400 stunned the world. It wasn't just a luxury car, it was precision on wheels. Quiet, elegant, and engineered to perfection, it rivaled Mercedes and BMW at half the price. Toyota had done the impossible, it had redefined excellence. Behind Toyota's success was something deeper than engineering, it was philosophy. The Toyota Way, as it came to be known, revolved around two timeless principles. 1. Continuous improvement, Kaizen, a promise to always do better, no matter how small the step. 2. Respect for people, because machines build cars, but people build success. Every worker on the factory floor had the power to stop production if something felt wrong. Every manager was expected to listen. Every process was designed to evolve. Failure wasn't feared, it was studied. Mistakes weren't hidden, they were lessons. This culture of learning turned Toyota into an unstoppable engine of innovation. By the early 2000s, the world took notice. Toyota had overtaken General Motors to become the largest automaker on Earth. In 1997, Toyota changed the world once again with a single car, the Prius. It wasn't just another sedan, it was the first mass-produced hybrid vehicle, combining an electric motor with a gasoline engine. At a time when the world was only beginning to talk about climate change, Toyota was already building the solution. The Prius became a cultural icon, a symbol of intelligence, responsibility, and modernity. Hollywood celebrities drove it, environmentalists championed it, and governments rewarded it. Toyota wasn't just building cars anymore, it was building the future. The company's engineers had achieved what many thought impossible: efficiency without compromise, innovation with integrity. The Prius proved that technology could coexist with sustainability and still sell millions. But success never comes without struggle. In 2009, Toyota's image of perfection cracked. Reports of unintended acceleration led to one of the largest recalls in automotive history. Millions of cars were affected. The world watched as Toyota, once the symbol of safety, faced its greatest test. CEO Akio Toyoda, grandson of the founder, appeared before the U.S. Congress. With humility and sincerity, he apologized on behalf of the entire company. "We will never forget that our customers put their lives in our hands." Those words carried the weight of generations. Toyota's engineers worked tirelessly to fix the issues, rebuild trust, and restore faith. And they succeeded. Within years, Toyota had not only recovered but emerged stronger, a living example that accountability is the truest form of strength. As the world stepped into the digital age, Toyota realized that the meaning of car was evolving. Electric vehicles, automation, artificial intelligence, the industry was transforming faster than ever. But Toyota's vision remained clear: mobility for all. The company began investing billions in solid-state batteries, hydrogen fuel cells, and autonomous technology. It launched the Mirai, a hydrogen-powered sedan that emits nothing but water vapor, a glimpse into a cleaner future. At the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, Toyota showcased its next chapter: self-driving shuttles, assistive robots, and futuristic mobility pods. It wasn't just adapting to change, it was leading it. Toyota was no longer just a car maker. It had become a mobility company committed to connecting people, communities, and possibilities. Today, Toyota operates in more than 170 countries, employing over 370,000 people. It has built over 300 million vehicles, more than any other automaker in history. The Corolla alone has sold over 50 million units, becoming the best-selling car ever made. But Toyota's legacy isn't measured in numbers. It's measured in trust. For millions of families around the world, Toyota means safety, durability, and peace of mind. From farmers in Africa driving Land Cruisers through rugged terrain, to urban commuters in Tokyo, to taxi drivers in Cairo, Toyota's presence is everywhere. It's more than a machine, it's a companion for life. The road ahead is uncertain. The automotive world is in the middle of its biggest transformation since the invention of the car itself. New competitors like Tesla challenge tradition. Governments push for zero emissions. Consumers demand innovation faster than ever. Critics say Toyota moves too cautiously toward full electrification. But supporters argue that Toyota's approach, balancing hybrids, EVs, and hydrogen, is the smarter, more sustainable path. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: Toyota's story isn't over. It's just shifting gears. As Akio Toyoda once said, "We will continue to move forward, step by step, towards a better world because mobility is freedom." From a modest loom factory in Japan to the world's largest automaker, Toyota's journey is a masterclass in vision, perseverance, and humility. It reminds us that greatness doesn't come from shortcuts, but from the courage to learn, to fail, and to rise again. For nearly a century, Toyota has moved the world not just through its vehicles, but through its values. And as long as there are roads to travel and dreams to chase, one name will continue to define the spirit of motion itself. This is Toyota, the road to greatness.